Good morning, dear friends, and welcome to another amazing episode of a Get In, Get Fit series. Today we are on session 42. Actually, we are on session 47 if I include all the other Pamper Yourself series also. And as all of you know, we are going to celebrate our 50th episode on July 10th. And at this juncture, I would definitely like to invite all of you for our Golden Jubilee celebrations on July 10th. Make yourselves free. It would be from 10 a.m. onwards. I'll send the invitation shortly. And I just want to give you all a basic understanding for all those who are newcomers to our Get and Get Fit series of what Get and Get Fit is all about. So suddenly the pandemic happened and we were all taken unawares, and most of us had a very busy lifestyle, and then we had to curtail ourselves at home. So most of us who were morning walkers outside had to confine ourselves within our home, and then we were looking out for a holistic way of connecting with people, and that is how Get In Get Fit bridged that gap. So we started having a daily exercise routine from 6:20 to 7 a.m. And I'm sure all of you know World Health Organization recommends at least 30 minutes of physical exercise every day. So we went into a Zoom platform and we created this Zoom link. And we have mentors helping us on an everyday basis, all 7 days a week. Nevertheless, we felt that there were so many people who could lend their advice or their expert, way of what they have lived and what they follow, so that all of us also could follow the same. And our small initiative called the Get In Get Fit Expert Series, the whole idea was even if we carry 1 point from every speaker, we would be a much better person because we would start following that point. And thanks to God, thanks to this connectivity, thanks to the electricity and all these kind of online meetings, that we have been able to connect to people far and wide. And we have crossed boundaries. We have had speakers from abroad also on this forum. So I can only tell you what started as a very small 3-month initiative has now really come forward, and it's grown bigger, better, stronger. And all this has been possible only because of all of you. So thank you so much, dear friends. And I would like to invite today's expert speaker, Mr. Shahul. And it gives me great pleasure in inviting Shahul Hameed sir, who is an entrepreneur with the IT industry and the food industry. He's passionate about fitness and music. He's a seasoned veteran marathoner since 2007. He's completed 50 plus running events, including 12 plus marathons, won podium finishes in several marathon events in India. He's mentored several people to take up and excel in the distance running since 2013. He's virtually a mentor and a guide for people who want to lead a healthier life. He is trained in aerobics, swimming, strength training, yoga, and Kundalini meditation. He's currently learning and practicing Tai Chi for the past 4+ years. He's a certified Reiki Level 3 master. He's a motivational speaker and has addressed and inspired the corporate world to lead a healthy life. And he's initiated running and fitness clubs in a few corporates. And he's right now learning flute, the Indian classical method, for the past 4 years. So it's a great privilege for us to invite Mr. Shahul Hameed. And I would like to thank Kripakar sir for giving this lead. And he has been a kind of a resource person and has helped us find many more leads. And Usha ma'am for helping me find Kripakar sir. Today I call him as Kripakar Anna though. And I would also like to thank Kannan sir, because when I was talking with Shahul Hameed sir, I came to know that Kannan sir and Shahul Hameed, both of them are, they are called partners, and they are always on the starting line of any marathon. So with those few words, it's a great privilege and a pride moment for all of us to have Mr. Shahul Hameed with us today at Get In, Get Fit, session 42. So over to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Vidya. Thank you for the nice introduction about me. Whatever you heard about me, all those introduction, all those lovely words, you can just keep it aside. It's something like a gift wrap, I say. Normally, what you tend to do is you just need to peel off the gift wrap so that you get to appreciate the gift. And I love to be called as a simple Shahul. That is because I have a tendency to view most of these things in a very simplified manner. One thing that didn't feature in my introduction is my educational qualification. I'm an electronics and communication engineer, having invested about 4 years in that. I did justification by working in the telecommunication field for about 2 decades. You all know that telecommunication is a very like a complex field. As a matter of fact, right now, whatever is happening is because of telecommunication. Internet is telecommunication, and the Zoom Meet, everything is telecommunication. For the past 1 or 2 years, the entire world is revolving around. But as a telecommunication engineer, I would say, like, for me, it is pretty simple. From point B, if I send 1, it has to go to point E, which is meant for point E. It has to go as 1 to point E only. And similarly, if point E sends a 0, which is meant for, say, point M, it has to reach point M as 0. So telecommunication is that simple. That is how I view it as. We all know that how difficult and what kind of processes that goes on for making that 1 to go from point, sending end to receiving end. But still, when you approach anything in life, however complex it may be, if you approach it in a simple manner, or rather when you view it in a simple manner, it becomes approachable. Fitness again is another complex terminology or a complex thing, which I would suggest you all to take it in or rather view it in a very simple manner so that it is approachable. So, and you get to embrace it. It's embraceable, and you get to embrace it throughout your life so that you can lead a golden life. Fitness again, fitness doesn't mean 6-pack abs or running a full marathon in 3 hours or completing a Ironman or like racing the Formula 1 car to start to finish. It's much more than that. It is, you need to look at fitness in a holistic way. Fitness has to be something like a 360 from the 360 degrees, and it is not 360 degree circle. It will be 360 degree sphere. That's how complex it is, but still, I would suggest you to look at it from a simplified manner. I have this habit of picking up one word. I told you, if you embrace fitness, you can lead a golden life. Golden, whenever we say gold or we always refer to the past as those golden era, those golden days. We always refer to the past as the golden days. Now, as a matter of fact, most of us are literally cribbing for the past 2 years, specifying or rather sharing your travel photos, sharing your marathon running photos and all that, saying those golden days, will that come again? Those golden days. Take it from me. Today is tomorrow's golden days. 5 years from down the line, or 10 years down the line, 12 years down the line, you will refer to this period as the golden days. Those golden days, we were sitting at home, enjoying. We were so peaceful. We were able to do so much stuff. We were able to pursue our hobby. We were able to try out new recipes. We were able to catch up with family. Family was together. How I used to control my entire business sitting in my balcony. This is how you will be talking. So always we have the tendency to look at the past as the golden days not at the present. The present will be your tomorrow's golden days. Okay. Talking about that, let me go back to my golden days, my fitness journey, or like how right from childhood, maybe I can just start off. I had a very blessed childhood because we lived in a joint family. In our grandfather's house, I had about 20 cousins, each on like your paternal and maternal side. So really blessed to have that kind of like a family circle. And since we lived in our grandfather's house, we had almost all the cousins dropping for any holiday. And we had a nice house with like a lot of area to play around. We had about 20-30 trees, so like always we were outdoors, climbing up the trees, playing some game or other. You name the sport we would have played. I was more like an hyperactive kid then. Typically your interest kept like varying once every quarter. If you all had watched Family Man or Family Man 2, there you have that kid Adav, who like switches on from like one instrument to the other to to hypnotism. Now that's something similar, like a typical Indian kid. That's how I grew up, having multiple interests, hopping from one to another, and mostly it is outdoor sports. You name the sport, we would have played. Maybe no polo or like equestrian. Otherwise, like most of the other games we would have played, including our Indian kabaddi, gilli goli, and all that. Most of the times we were outdoor and then playing around. My running as such, it started is like when I was around 10 years old. Another thing is what made me, have some kind of a head start is sibling rivalry. Thanks to that, whatever my brother did, who is 3 years elder to me, I will do it immediately at that time. If he is like doing something at 10 years, I would have I will want to do it then at 7 years, giving me that a 3-year head start. If he learns for swimming, I also go for swimming. If he goes for other like something like that. Casually once my father said like, hey, what you guys are doing always, like like playing something or the other, get into some habit, just run around the house, keep going around almost every day, just run about whatever 5 or 10 rounds around the house. During school sports, when you're going to run, that time you will have that like all this practice, whatever you're done will help you. So along with my brother, I started every day. Like what happens is my brother has a thing to like obviously similar, that sibling rivalry from that side also happens, or rather the like pulling each other's legs. He will wait for me to start. He will start once I stop. Say like I stop after 12 rounds, he will purposely do 13 rounds. I ran one more round, and then he kept doing this. I mean, this was going on for a week or so. One day I was determined. I said, I'm not going to stop at all. I kept going. He started, he was waiting for me to start. After some, like after I've done about 5 or 6 rounds, he also joined me. We started going. I never stopped. I kept going on till 50 laps. 50 laps I just did. By then my brother fizzled out. He said like, go. Around after like 20 odd, he said like, thank you. I kept going on and on and on, and I just 50 laps. I said, now match it. So that was my whatever, like the introduction to endurance running. Because I wanted to run, I didn't run fast. I was very clearly pacing myself. Now we tend to like try our best with our Garmin device, keep looking at the watch. Are we on the average pace and all that? Nothing of that sort. I just kept running by feel, pacing myself so that like I can keep on going. So that's how it all started. Maybe I was around 10 years old then. Obviously next day morning, I couldn't get up. My calf muscles were like rock. But then it took a while and all that, like with iodix and stuff like that. I had to come back, and that's when it started. I got hooked on to running. Then later, I think 2 years later, my brother wanted to do some, I think some NCC camp or something like that, or some one of those cross country races he had to do, 5 kilometers or 6 kilometers. So that's when he said like, hey, why don't we like go together and train together? I have to do a road race. So we started, we used to live in Adyar, Gandhinagar. So we started from the Gandhinagar terminus. We started running all the way along the Rajbhavan road up to Rajbhavan and coming back. We just did that. I think that should be around, now we know the exact distance, which is 6 kilometers. But that time we didn't know. We were just going along. We packed ourselves like we had some cash in hand so that in case like we are getting stuck, we can always hop into a bus and then come back. The bus charge was carried. We carried some water bottle, something and all that, we just did. And then we managed to just go and come back. That is the first time on the road, a road running event kind of a thing we just did. From then on, like got hooked on. But somehow I wasn't able to excel in the school sport initially. That is because like during 6th and 7th and all that, we weren't allowed to run longer distances. Only it was sprints, 100, 200 and 400. I didn't have that speed. So I was waiting. I was always wanted to run the, like 1500 meters. 1500 meters used to be the star event of these school sports because it will be open to all and it will happen on the sports day with everyone present. That will happen. That will be the final event. It's like the star event. So I always wanted to, like run the event. I wasn't allowed until I was in the 9th standard. 9th onwards, it is open to all. So waiting for nearly like 2 to 3 years, and then finally, like when I got a chance, I started running. In 9th, I ran. At least I was just there running around. At least I think I did the 3 laps and so on. But then before that, most of the things, like most of them completed, I just dropped out. Nobody really bothered me. Next year in school athletic team selections, I went there. That time, hardly 8 to 10 people turned up. So in that, everyone was like watched. We were running. As I was just running, I think I might have been finished. I mean, first 2 will be selected for the school thing to represent the school. I was around like 5th or 6th around that, like we were just finishing about 120 meters to go for the finish line. So by then, like first 2 completed, I just dropped off. I started walking. I remember one of our school sports trainers, he just whistled, he called me. Go there. Wherever you left, from there you start, finish the race. I said, okay, fine. I just went there, I just came, I finished. And then as I was finishing casually, already 2 has completed, what's the point? He said, anytime when you enter a race, complete it, finish it, respect the distance, respect the event, finish it. So that continues till now. My first lesson in endurance running. And then that is when he told me, you have the thing in you, you see to that, you will definitely win this event before you leave the school. Next 2 years, 800 and 1500 meters, 11th and 12th, I was a podium finisher in both the events. And apart from that, I also played, I used to play other sports like I represent school in tennis, hockey and all that. Don't ask me to play hockey. Hockey, mostly like I was able to sustain for a longer period on the field because of my running endurance. That's about it. And same thing continued in college. College, I won the 800 and 1500 meters. Post that, I mean, I went through the exact cycle. If you notice, like most of us would have gone through the similar cycle in life. A very, very active younger age, like, school, college, you have been very extremely active, physically active. And once you start working, that is when like I was missing my running because I had that discipline. I still remember I'm not able to get that kind of a discipline what I had as a 15-year-old or 16-year-old. Because for me to winning that school 1500 meters was the dream kind. So I was practicing. No alarms. I just wake up by myself around 5:30 or so, get ready by 6. That is when, light comes up. Before and all that, we never used to run in the dark. So we wait for the light to come up basically around 5:50 or 6 o'clock. And I used to do the same distance from Gandhinagar bus terminus, the entrance point, all the way up to Rajbhavan and back. And if it is a weekend, mostly I do it for about 5 days a week. And then like weekends, I go a little bit further. That is, I'll go up to the Spic building, cross the, like Campacola Junction and all that. Those days it was Campacola factory. That just go up to the Spic and then come back, which will be an additional 2 kilometers. I guess that should be around 8 kilometers. That used to be my training regime, training for the 1500 meters. In between, without even knowing what it was, I was actually doing fartlek training. And with trial and error, I started, doing the breathing thing, pattern properly, syncing up the breathing with your steps. What all, like now in running, we learn those things. I started learning myself. I mean, more like with the trial and error. And that discipline, still I'm not able to, without any kind of motivation or anybody to push you. Here, at least, like what is happening nowadays, okay, that will come back when I'm just once I enter the corporate, everything went for a thing, but still what I did was the first, still I was there in Chennai. I used to drive up to Besnagar. This was in the year 91. Those days you had this needle. I used to park my bike there, do 3 to 5 laps of the entire beach stretch. It depends on my mood. It is just to ensure that to keep myself fit. I know, like people said, like the moment you buy a bike, you will start putting on a paunch. It's a general saying among the youth. The moment you, because earlier you used to walk and go to even, any shop, everything you just used to walk and go. Whereas the moment you get a bike, even to the street corner, you tend to pick up the bike. So your activity goes. Your activities are lessened and all that. You don't. You tend to depend on the bike, so you put on weight. That's the saying. So I said, like, let me not get into that. So I was a little bit cautious, and I enjoy running as such. So I said, like, let me go there and enjoy, like running along the beach. It was nice. Basically, never bothered how much I ran, how much time I took, what distance I ran. Just enjoyed running. That's about it. And depending on the day, your mood, your weather, whatever, all that, it's like 3 or 4 or 5 laps. That's about it. And once I left Chennai, then got into a different kind of thing. Focus changed. Once into corporate life, targets, deadlines, meetings, AOPs. You get into different sort of thinking. Your entire lifestyle changes, and with that heavy traveling and all that, traveling comes along with its own perks. So I started somewhere around 93 onwards, almost for about 7-8 years of sedentary lifestyle. Eat what you like. I said, like, traveling takes you to nice places, exotic places where you get to enjoy very good food and all that, all clubbed together without any kind of inactivity. I bloated. I had size 38 waist. Actually speaking, grabbing 40, I had this ego problem not to get into the 40. I squeezed myself into a 38 size trousers, which was busting to the seams. And I think I should be weighing around close to 80. I'm not sure. I didn't ever stepped on to any kind of a weighing machine on that. And like everyone, most of them, whoever has gone through this, they will get a wake-up call once. I had my wake-up call in 2001. Not once, twice. Once it was a cousin wedding, Bharat. We were dancing, and everyone, we all stepped on. We started jumping around and all that, and I'm going out of it. Once in 40 seconds, 50 seconds max, I'm off. I'm out of breath. I had to stop, wait, huff and puff, and then slowly walk along, and then again seeing others dance and others then again. This was going on. It didn't really alarm. Okay, kind of, like I said, what's happening? Not able to even dance properly. And after that, within few months later, one of my colleagues said like, hey, some of my friends are playing cricket, why don't you join? And I said, yeah, hey, I haven't played cricket in a while. I don't know, like almost 8-10 years I haven't been, I think I haven't touched a cricket bat. Let's play. I went there, I didn't do anything. I didn't even like bowl or anything. I was just, like fielding and then, like catching the ball, throwing back to the keeper or the bowler. This is what I just did. And I was drenched in sweat. I'm panting. And next day, I couldn't lift my arms. That was another wake-up call. I said, like, something has to be done. This is not done. I said, let me get back to fitness, because I used to be super fit. I was always like active, kept on doing something, and I was an athlete. I was running. So let me get back to running. Tried running on the road, I used to go few days, I just try to slowly catch, run maybe approximately. Again, those days, always we are runners and all that have this habit of your lamppost thing, calculations. Those days in the 70s and 80s, it used to be 50 meters per lamppost. Nowadays, it is 25 meters per lamppost. In between, I think it was 30 meters or something. So I was just calculating approximately, counting the lamppost and then going. I said, like, once I reach around like 3 to 5 kilometers, I will touch and then like again I fizzle out. By then you feel slightly good and then fizzle out. In spite of getting the wake-up call, taking a conscious decision that I need to get back to fitness, do something, like serious about it. It took 3 full years. From 2001 till 2004, I tried a lot of things. I tried running and then like, even at a young age, I used to do yoga and all that. I tried doing yoga at home or do some, like simple body weight workouts, your push-ups or your squats and all that. I'm just trying to do different things. Nothing seemed to work. Bought a treadmill. As usual, everywhere, like it becomes a towel stand. That's what happened to my house also. Most of the home treadmills become nice towel stands. Nobody uses it. So that's what happened in our house also. And then like the wise decision I took was in 2004. 2004, I joined a gym, paid for the annual subscription, the best investment in my life. And from then on, there was no turning back. Till date, I've been into various forms of fitness. Something that, again, when I went into the gym, treadmill there attracted much better. I started the very first day itself, I think I started running around 3 kilometers. My trainer said, sir, wait, take it easy. I said, I know I've run enough, let me do. And then I just ran. And from then on, like for nearly 3 years, it was gymming and, like running on treadmill. As a matter of fact, I did my first 10K on a treadmill. Yeah. Kept going, like, in between, I tried running it was a marathon. We used to be connected by the SDAC. They only had 2 categories, full marathon and 5K. I was taking part in the 5K. I just went there. Before that, the full marathon runners were like warming up and could see them start and all that. So I said, like, we need to run this. Don't know how, but I wanted to run it. So that's how I just came back to the gym. I told my trainer, hey, I saw people running full marathon and all that. I wanted to run. Now I'm able to run 5K. Then he said, sir, don't do all that. Simple. He gave me a nice technique on something like that, which still helps me. If you are able to run for 30 minutes, keep running. What speed you used to run? I set it in like 10.7 or 10.8, around that, till about 11 or something. Set it 10.7, run for 32 minutes. Average pace, run for 34 minutes. Keep increasing 2 minutes. To just take it up to like 45 minutes and all that. Again, like increase the speed and then, keep on doing this. I kept doing this for 2 months. As I was just doing that around, I was just running at 11 kilometers per hour speed and then like increasing the duration. And be able to, like one day, body felt good. Always there are good days, there are bad days. That happened to be a good day. I kept running. I said, like, I'm not sure. I was almost like touching 8.7, 8.8 kilometers. I said, I'm not sure when again my body will feel good and I'll be able to run well. Let me go all out and then see how much I can run. At least 10K. I said that, let me just go. I just did that 10K. That was my very first 10K, and that happened on a treadmill. And when we are just looking at, when this was going on, I just saw an article in newspaper about runners on the road. That was Chennai runners, and joined them. Looking at the article about already they were about like 15-20 of them. Looking at the article, another 15-20 of them joined. I happened to be one among that 20. And then from then on, like we started running, and slowly the distances became 10K, became 15K, 15K became half marathons became like full marathons and all that. And in the process, actually in gym, I was like trying out different things, because gymming and running on treadmill or your like EFX and all that was, so there were aerobic classes. I joined that. Went on for about 2 years. And then again, when I started running and all that, they said like flexibility is more important and stuff like that. So started learning yoga. I learned yoga from 2 or 3 different gurus and all that. Different styles, your Patanjali style, Shivananda style. And serious running started somewhere around 2012. That's when I did my first full marathon. And from then on, like slowly it was like improving your own running, how to better your timing and all that. That's what's going on. In 2014, I got in touch with my trainer Ashnath, and he conducted a Form Perfect workshop. That completely changed my the views about running and all that. You had to unlearn whatever you've been doing and relearn the perfect techniques. That helped me a lot. That was based on chi running. Now, the moment that chi running came, okay, I said like, what is this chi running? Tai chi. That is when the Tai Chi thing came. I said, okay, fine. Tai Chi is more maybe like the Indian yoga. So I said, okay, louder. Yeah. So Tai Chi is something like our Indian yoga. So I said, like, I stopped gymming from 2014. I was only into running and yoga. This was going on for a while. Then I said, like, why beat around the bush? I wanted to learn know about Tai Chi, like improve your running style. So I said, like, let me learn Tai Chi itself. So was looking around and found my sifu. And from 2017, I started learning Tai Chi also, 2016. And yeah, in between my running improved so much that suddenly, like, I see myself, I'm on the podium. I'm some of the runners who I used to idealize and all that, I am along with them, sharing the podium with them. That gave me that, new high. Almost like it took me back to the my school days when I used to win and then stand on the podium. The same feel, it just came. But then anything like with possession, it loses its value. So something like that, the very first time you're excited, you're on a podium, next time again, yes, you're there. Then what happens is you always wanted to do that, and then the third or fourth time or fifth time, like you don't even bother. Okay, you're on podium, fine. Okay, you got the podium, you got a PB, fine. You feel happy. It is something like your social media likes. That's about it. Just that it is on a small high. After that, it's off. But what happens is there is ego in you. You always wanted to do that. So because of that, you look at the event, you start preparing earlier. Your mind is there. An event which is like 2 months away, which category, who is competing, and now what is his best time, what is my best time, what is that? If you have to be on the podium, what the cutoff you need to do. So accordingly, you start training and all that. Your mind is there. Your training itself is like, tuned to that. It is purely satisfying your ego, pushing on all that. You end up losing all the fun of running. But then it took a while for me to realize that. And then when I realized, I think maybe Tai Chi did it. In 2017 was a year when my running peaked. And that is when I started my Tai Chi also. And by 2018, I said like, I need to put a conscious stop to this. This is not taking me anywhere, or rather, it's not like what's great about like, okay, it's okay, fine. Something like I weren't taking it, or rather, does it get into my head or something like that much? So I took a conscious decision of not even, like taking part in an event. When you take part in an event, you get to race. You're not able to run normally. You are into the race mode. You are totally different. When you're there in the start line, you just turn around, your stress level builds up. Who is running? Who is there? What is happening? And otherwise, you actually run your run. I mean, when you run, you enjoy your run, you run for yourself. The moment this happens, there is expectation from your friends and all that, that really hits you. So you're not actually enjoying the run or the race, especially when you're on the race. You keep looking at, you look at the watch, you look at your this one, what kind, how you're pacing, who is there, who is behind you, all that, you are there in the competitive mode. That again, I wouldn't blame, because humans are competitive. And so I took a conscious decision. I said, I'm not going to race. Let me keep off from events so that at least that will, like keep me away from racing. So that's what happened. And from 2018, I wasn't running at all, except that very few events wherein like conducted by friends, wherein you are an ambassador and all that. So you are able to, like run, basically just go run for funds kind of a thing, or like you do pacing or something like that. And it took a while keeping away from events. I said like, I can't keep away from events for long. I need to get into an event wherein I should have who all I feel like competitors, I should lose with them. So, like, or rather like, take it easy and allow, like a natural process. It took a while, couple of events wherein like I could see like, me not being on the podium, but then not doing a mediocre kind of a run, a relaxed, enjoyable run, still at least on like, par with my kind of whatever timing. That was good. I enjoyed doing that. Now I enjoy even the events also. So thanks to actually, I feel Tai Chi would have done that, because in Tai Chi we do slow movements. My Sifu used to always say like, slow down your movements, slow down your mind, or slow down your thoughts. Possibly, I don't know, maybe it could have helped me. So that started tuning me into this. And for almost like now 3 years, I've been into this. It's a great feeling about this. Okay, now from 2004, I would say like till now, maybe about 16, 17 years, I've been into fitness and all that. A lot of learnings. Learnings is like, I would say, what happens is, if anybody wants to start, always one mistake, what everyone does is also like, I think I did those mistakes during that 2001 to 2004. You tend to go all out and you fizzle off after a while. Because you are like going at full steam. Definitely whenever you go out, I mean, when you're beginning that way, you cannot sustain. It has to be sustainable. So take small steps, but then be consistent. Consistent small steps, what matters. And another thing is like, always strike a balance. I have experienced various kinds. If you ever notice, like being in gym, learning weight training, aerobics classes, yoga, running as in like, a proper form running. In between, I had unlearned and relearned swimming also. I just did that. And Tai Chi. So in various forms of fitness, one thing I just realized is there is no one form. It is not that one form of fitness can give you. You need to pick and choose. It's like food. Food, we always say like you need to have a balanced diet. Balanced diet as in you need to have the right amount of carb, right amount of protein, right amount of fat, minerals, hydration, vitamins, and all that, right? Similarly, like you need to ensure your activities has to have the right mix of cardio, strength, power workouts, agility, flexibility, mobility. It has to have all balance, everything. It has to have the right mix and right balance. Ensure that you do everything. And another thing is one of those mistakes people do is overdo. Let me take a plant analogy. Okay. Now, I think with lockdown, most of you are doing some terrace garden. All this grow bags, they have something called a drain hole. Why? Okay. Plants need water, light, and air, right? So now, what happens? It needs to be in adequate quantity. What happens if water is more? Flood. If your air is more, it's strong. Sunlight is more, it's going to burn off. So everything has to be in adequate quantity. Your workout is also the same thing. It has to be in the adequate quantity. If it exceeds a limit, it burns you out. Like the storm, it can, like take you off or sweep you off your feet. So you need to be very careful in terms of balancing your workouts. Balance, balance, balance. I keep talking balance. Balance is not midpoint. Midpoint is mediocre. Balance is actually what you find is, okay, I was running, I was pushing myself, I was pushing to the extreme, podium, winning your PBs, I mean, PB is personal best, beating your own personal best, continuously like on, you're pushing yourself to the extreme. Just take a little bit off the extreme so that you'll enjoy, you're not pushed. If I'm running here, I wouldn't enjoy. It is not like, it's not just fun running. Fun running is, at least for me, 70 or 80% of my capacity, my full capacity, not like for 40 or 50% of my capacity. So that is what is the balance. You need to find your balance. You need to know what is your 100%. And then you just, like back off a little. And another thing is guilt workouts. You miss nowadays, like people are missing workouts. This is like we're not able to go outdoor. We're not able to do running. We are not even like, because no events and all that, you don't have a motivation. You're not doing your 90-minute runs. You're not doing your half marathons. You're just going run and then do some 1 hour run and then come back. You're not actually running how you were running 2 or 3 years ago. So you have a feel of guilt. I'm not doing adequate. I'm not doing sufficient. You tend to push yourself in other things, or like you tend to do multiple workouts on the same day. You tend to go all out on your, like 108 Surya Namaskars. That brings me to another thing. Actually speaking, Tai Chi, one way how it helped me is basically when you go do an ancient form of fitness like your yoga or Tai Chi, there are no measures. We actually saw all those measures in corporate world. Six Sigma. Now, nothing that is measurable cannot be controlled. You have to measure, benchmark, all this, like meet the target. We want to do more out of the stress we come into workout. And here, what you're doing is you're trying to do the same number game. You're playing the same number game. You're trying to push, set targets and all that. You're trying to measure. Yoga cannot be measured. Tai Chi cannot be measured. In my Tai Chi class, we have a mix of like 8-year to 88-year-old. As a matter of fact, 2 years ago, the 88-year-old just celebrated the 90th birthday. Anyway, so it's a mix of different age group. Everyone, when we get on, we do the same forms, same flow. There's nothing like he does it better, she does it better, she didn't do it well, or he didn't do it well, or whatever. There are no comparisons because there's nothing measurable. You do your flow, you go along with the flow, you're doing a group workout, you're flowing along with the group. Same with your yoga. Actually speaking, except for the Surya Namaskar count, the moment there is a count, then immediately your mind goes on. Hey, let me do more. Okay, like yesterday I did 24 thing count. Today I will do 36. 36 becomes your 50. 50 becomes okay. Let me hit the 108. At least there was some sanity, that there was some saying like 108 is the limit has been set. Else, I'm sure like people would have been like going on like ultra marathons, 500 Surya Namaskars. I did that, all that. See, yoga or your any kind of, like the ancient forms, you just enjoy, you be there, you enjoy doing the workout, and how well you do it, how nice you feel. That's what matters. And end of the day, you should feel happy. Coming to diet. Diet, I wouldn't call actually diet. Let me put it this way. From 2004, I was back into fitness, actually from the obese part. I was actually running marathons, but still I wasn't looking, like fit. I felt fit, but not looking fit. I said something is not right. I want to be, like the sports car. You want to be like that Ferrari, the Lamborghini and all that. Then I realized all these sports cars run on high octane fuel. So that's when I said like something needs to be done there. So that's why I call it nutrition. And nutrition again is your high octane fuel. It is not, dieting is not starving, dieting is not keeping off something. It is about having the right stuff, having the superfoods, your high octane calorie, your high octane fuels for the human. So what I tend to do is I try to take most of the food, whatever you're supposed to have, the nutritious stuff before having my regular food. I still have my regular food. I still enjoy my regular food. But what happens is, the moment you fill yourself with, like high calorific or rather high octane superfoods, then your intake of your regular food goes down. You still have that, so you're not paying. When you keep off something, then you crave for it. But then I experimented a lot from 2014 till about 2018, about 3.5 years. I kept off sugar completely. That is extremely strict. I was looking at labels. There is like glucose. Oh, no, I'm not. Thanks. That's how, like very strict I was. Initially, like I was even strict as in I didn't even have jaggery or honey to keep the, like the sweet taste of my mouth. Only sweetness I was like through fruits and all that. That's what I was consuming. And like slowly I started adding like jaggery or honey after 6 to 8 months and all that slowly. And now I enjoy my sugar, sweets and all that, everything I do. But then consciously I enjoy it. It's because I know how tough it is to keep off them. And now when you're doing it, you're able to do the thing, control. Now, another thing is most ignored, just 2 minutes. I just take off that. I think we are just almost about an hour. Sleep. Most of the runners are sleep deprived because we are, especially in Chennai, it's a tropical climate. We all tend to start our runs early. So we try to wake up very early. Almost it's a very common thing. We don't feel guilty to call a runner at 4 a.m. But we feel guilty to call them after 10. So everyone tend to wake up around 3:50, 4:50. That is the usual wake up time for runners. But then I'm not sure how many of them are going to bed before 10. If you have to wake up by 4, you need to have at least a minimum 6 minimum hours of sleep. So if you're not sleeping by 10, please don't wake up at 4. Make sure you sleep well so that your performance is much better. And always rest. Another thing what we ignore, runners ignore, is rest days. Nobody respects their rest days. It is always like you do something, you do something. No, I used to run so many kilometers. My weekly average used to be like 140 those days. Now my average has come down. So I'm just doing about 43 or something. So I will be running all 7 days. Don't do that. Or like, like all 7 days, you have to ensure that you take one day for absolute rest. Absolute rest meaning you shouldn't do anything, even doing that 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers walk as in walking, like don't do that. Respect your rest days fully so that you are able to rejuvenate your body, restores, and then comes back.
Thank you so much, Shahul sir. I mean, it was awesome to hear you, and almost from childhood, from a joint family, of how you had your fun, and then your elder brother being a great super support for you, and then your small runs, and then your big runs, and then your podium finishes, and then all different forms of exercise, and how you settled for healthy eating and a good amount of sleep. I guess it was a complete feast for us to hear from you. There are a lot of wishes which has come your way, so I would read them, and there are some questions also there. So the first thing is uh, Kripakar sir is with us right now, and he's saying happy to have been chasing you and ended up on the podium with you in previous ISHM even, but at the finish line I couldn't see you as you were too fast and ran the race like a wind. And Rhoda says you were fortunate to have an elder sibling who was instrumental in channeling your energies and was a motivating factor, and also provided competition which helped you focus. Thank you, brother, who's your mentor. Kripakar sir again says your Pullangurel is always sweet to hear. Anything in store for today? So do we get to listen to your Pullangurel today? A small piece?
What, you wanted me to play a flute?
Yeah, why not? Why not a small piece right now?
Thank
Not
you,
very
Vidyaa,
far
for doing this.
close by.
We believe that music is a therapy, as physical exercise is a therapy, music is also a therapy. So we'll listen to a short playing from you today. Awesome, awesome, Shahul sir, Shahul, awesome. The best part of playing a flute, if many did not know, is to control your breath and to give that much amount of breath into the flute so that it can come out as a awesome music. So not only physical fitness, but internal breathing exercises also, it definitely helps. Thank you so much for being a sport and showing it. I know you might have not expected this, but then I thought this question is best answered when you play it rather than say it. So Rhoda says you make the whole journey seem simple with some discipline and focus. I guess it's attainable, absolutely. And Kripakar sir says, nice analogy of balancing workout with that of a plant. Rhoda again says, absolutely well said. Enjoy the exercise routine and eat to sustain. And Kannan sir, your partner, says, good to know in detail about your fitness journey, partner. And Usha ma'am says, Shahul, the all-rounder, all in all, Aragaraja. So thank you so much, Shahul sir, for that amazing session with Get In, Get Fit series. As always, it's a pleasure to hear from our expert speakers and help us understand fitness better by people who just don't say it but walk the talk. So thank you for that amazing episode. And Dr. Vidyaa Suresh says, 360 degrees talented human being. Hats off to you, sir. So thank you so much. You can all unmute at this point of time, and definitely wish Shahul sir. And with that, we'll come to the end of today's episode.
Shahul, I don't know whether you spoke about your Tindu runs, and in fact, one of the other phases which I know about him is he has been training below 16 younger talents to get into running and fitness, and I think he has created so many able runners. He identifies them in the younger age and then trains them. I don't know whether you spoke about it. I joined slightly late.
One among them.
No, I didn't actually. I didn't
on that.
Because too much to cover and all that. As a matter of fact, one of my trainees who I used to train in 2015. She just pinged me. She said like I haven't got into college and all that. She was off, and then she's off fitness. I think she's going through the wake up call or whatever. I came to her. She said, "Uncle, I'm not feeling fit. I'm not able to do much. I need your help and all that." For the past 2 to 3 days, and I'm just guiding her over the phone and then saying like what to do, how to I go about. It gives it gives nice pleasure for them, like to come back to me, like look up and then look for guidance.
And one more thing which I would like to add on is whenever you run in your beach road, and Shahulji has one water point where everyone can have take water, and sometimes he will have energy drink also in that, which is free for all the runners. And I don't know how many of the runners do it, but then Shahulji very happily does that part.
I did every time I went from Besan Nagar.
Besan Nagar, always you will find a water point of Shahulji's.
No, there is one near the Boat Club Road. Boat Club.
Running Sriram, actually, he wanted to do something. So I just suggested him that, like having a running, I think, like a water point, which will be fine. So one side, I said, like, I'll take care. Another side, he was like, I think still he continues in between, like, I guess around 2000, during that flood or something like that, just before the flood, I was just doing it for about a year. And then still Sriram continues in Boat Club.
And I also remember that, Shahulji is continuously supplying foods for the needies. That I don't know he spoke about that. That's a great, thing which he has been continuously doing.
Being in the food industry, I said like, if I cannot provide food at least for one person every day, I mean, it doesn't make sense. So I just started saying, like I said, let me, start providing food for 2 or 3 people from my side. And slowly, help started pouring from others, my friends, my relatives, and all that. Almost, I think, not in a very big manner. Whenever they are providing, and I continue my everyday 3 became 5. That's what I've been doing. On an average of 20, 30 food packets we do every day. Last year we did, some days will be more, basically special. Last year we did about 10,000 plus packs able to supply.
Good.
And I have it called donateameal.net. I have a website where people can log in and donate online.
Shahul, I have one question on running.
Yes.
I remember you recommended 7 kilometers run every day. What is the benefit, specific benefit, anything there?
Okay, yeah, sure. That is it's basically, I was talking about the guilt workouts, especially what happened is these 2 years. What happened is with the pandemic, not many are running out and all that. We weren't running and then we resumed running after some time. So what I did was I was just doing the 5K. We marathoners, for us, the 5K is not giving that sufficient, it's not, satisfying your appetite. I just said, like, we were trying to run for an hour or so. Then later, I just realized that 45 minutes of run or 7K gives that kind of, it just exactly satisfies my hunger. My appetite is satisfied, my running hunger is satisfied.
Okay.
So I said, like, that looks like a magic figure. Either you do it 45 or 7, not necessarily satisfy either one, you're fine. I just propagated that.
Okay.
And it happened, a lot of people started following. And they also felt it beneficial. What exactly happened is almost on a regular basis when they're running that 7K, like psychologically, when you want to run a 5K, it seems very less. When you want to run a 1 hour or like, a 10K, 12K and all that, it looks more. This was kind of psychologically a right kind of a magic figure. That's why I coined it Magic 7.
Thank you.
And
Shahul, I would like to know about the Tai Chi, Shahul. Tai Chi. Where are you taking the training for Tai Chi? Because I'm interested in
Tai Chi
that.
India Foundation. Yeah, I'm okay. Actually, I'm because whatever I wanted to learn, I learned from the best teachers. My aerobics, I learned from Anupama. She used to be in 2004-5 days, she used to be the certifying authority of, the aerobic classes for, like the Reebok certified aerobic trainers. And my running coach was Ashnath. Everyone knows about it. Whenever I have some kind of an ailment or anything, that is your injury or anything like that, I go to my nutrition advice and things like that. I get it from Shiny Surendra. Everyone, if you do the best. Similarly, my Tai Chi Tutu is the best. The best in India, or rather, like, is one among the best in the global level. Sifu Josh Thomas, he conducts this in Vidyaa, Kotupuram. You can actually check out Tai Chi India Academy. Tai Chi Academy. I'll just get the this one for you. You can.
Can you just share your contact number? I'll contact you.
You should be able to get his website and all the details. We have actually paused the thing. We are going to resume the classes soon. That's what they said. Last year we didn't have classes, and of course we resumed somewhere around February. Till about April, I went for classes, and then now again stopped. I've been doing almost every day. Now I'm doing. I've been on a streak right now. I think I've crossed about 35 days of everyday Tai Chi.
Thank you, Shahul.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So we have a few more, comments or things. So Rukmani Ma says, very neatly you've put the facts, very inspiring, very good service. Can you please put the website on chat for donation regarding meals? And Vinoda Ganapati says, Shahul sir is a legend, always optimistic, honest, suggestions and a radiant source of encouragement to every runner. Grateful to have known you, sir. So it is www.donateameal.net. So I guess we have had an absolutely fantastic session today. And thank you so much, friends, for joining in. And as all of you know, we have been having this sessions going on for almost now 48 weeks. In another 1 or 2 weeks, we're going to celebrate our Golden Jubilee celebrations, and I would take this time to definitely invite all of you for our 50th, and I'm sure each of you spell success for us. So thank you so much, Shahul sir. Thank you, Krupakar sir, for this reference, and thank you, buddies, for joining in. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vidya. Thank you.
Thank you, Shahul. Thank you very much. Thank you, Vidya.
Thank you, Vidya. Thank you, Shahul sir. Thank you, everybody.